the monster who slaughtered 5 innocent people at Club Q is not non-binary. This is a convenient and pathetically transparent troll which was most likely orchestrated by this murderer's legal team in order to mitigate the severity of the charges filed against him, as well as to make a mockery of the people that he just brutally gunned down. People who were simply minding their own business and just trying to have a good time. But Colin, he said he was non-binary. Or his lawyers, rather. They explicitly told us that he identifies as non-binary. So why are you not respecting his pronouns? Why are you not taking this mentally deranged gunman at his word? You horrible bigot. Believe it or not, this is actually the current rhetoric of the right wing. They are unequivocally buying into this crap. And they insist that you should not, for 1 second, question the claims and motives of this mentally deranged lunatic. He's obviously 100% credible. For once, the right is actually respecting someone's gender identity, not to mention with a fiery fervor that's usually reserved for PTA meetings and Stop the Steal rallies. Now, there's a very logical and, again, pathetically transparent reason for all of this. And that's because it fits ever so perfectly into their narrative of, this was simply an instance of infighting, right? Within the LGBTQ community. They're eating themselves alive. They're murdering their own kind. And they're blaming us for these horrific deaths. How dare they blame us? You see it on every right-wing outlet. Oh, the media jumped on this story so fast and reported without waiting for all the facts to come out. How could they do such a thing? Anyone on the right or the left who is referring to this person as they, them, is an absolute imbecile. There is not a single shred of evidence to substantiate that this heap of trash identified as non-binary prior to this massacre. Not a single shred. And he knows he's going to jail for the rest of his life. He has absolutely nothing to lose from pulling a stunt like this, right? And again, forgive me for questioning the credibility of a mentally deranged lunatic. Forgive me for having reservations about who he claims to be now. But the thing is, whether or not this person is or isn't who they say they are, it doesn't make this any less of a hate crime, in my book. I understand that might not be a legal reality, but out of every public establishment in Colorado Springs, I guess it's just happenstance that this lunatic selected the venue that he did. And the right is adamant, oh no, this couldn't possibly be a hate crime because the killer is one of you, right? The call's coming from inside the house. So why are you getting mad at us? Why are you blaming Fox News and right-wing pundits and influencers who constantly spew anti-LGBTQ vitriol and peddle these fear-mongering lies to their viewerships, who in turn get riled up with false indignation which can manifest into tangible real-life atrocities? What a bunch of libtards, am I right? The intellectual dishonesty is not surprising at all. And just to be clear, I don't believe for a millisecond that anyone on the right genuinely believes this person is non-binary. Because they don't even think non-binary is a real thing, right? But now all of a sudden they're, super accepting and understanding, and they are certain without a doubt that this psychopath is exactly who he says he is. But at the end of the day, this is all about creating and preserving a narrative that's going to exonerate them, at least in their eyes, right? They have been on the defense since the second these deaths were reported. And they refuse to admit that this was a legitimate hate crime. Yet they know deep down what the catalysts were for this event, and sadly, they'll never acknowledge that. Because to do so would be exposing themselves for the fearmongers and the political opportunists that they are.